Long before stainless steel marketing, synthetic coatings, and battery-powered promises, medieval people survived wars, famine, winters and disasters using tools that were brutally simple and relentlessly reliable. These were not hobbies or weekend accessories. They were life support systems shaped by necessity, scarcity, and hard-earned experience. What makes many of these tools remarkable is not just that they worked, but that in certain situations they still outperform modern equivalents that rely on complex supply chains or fragile components. Understanding them gives us insight into survival design that prioritized durability, repairability, and adaptability above all else. The medieval knife served as a complete survival system, not a single-purpose tool. The medieval belt knife was closer to a survival platform than a cutting tool. It was thick-spined, easy to sharpen, and designed to be abused without snapping. Unlike many modern knives optimized for weight or aesthetics, medieval knives accepted prying, scraping, food prep, carving, and even light hammering. A simple carbon steel blade could be resharpened endlessly with a stone, even after damage. Applied today, the lesson is choosing tools that can be maintained indefinitely rather than replaced when dulled or chipped. The fire steel outperformed modern lighters by never running out. Medieval fire steels paired with flint created sparks hot enough to ignite charcloth reliably in rain, snow, or wind. There was no fuel to leak, no mechanism to jam, and no expiration date. A single steel striker could last a lifetime. The practical takeaway is redundancy-free fire, starting that works even after decades of neglect. Modern ferro rods are direct descendants, but the medieval approach emphasized technique over convenience, ensuring fire under the worst conditions. The clay cooking pot functioned as cookware, heater, and storage. Medieval clay pots were thick, repairable, and multifunctional. They could be used over open flame, buried in coals, or set near heat sources to retain warmth. Cracks were often sealed with ash or clay rather than discarded. These vessels taught people to cook slowly, preserve moisture, and conserve fuel. In modern survival or off-grid contexts, heavy cookware that retains heat still outperforms thin metal when fuel is scarce. So, the wool cloak, well, it actually replaced multiple modern layers without any technology at all. A medieval wool cloak was, insulation, rain protection, a blanket, and even shelter, all rolled into one. Wool kept its heat even when it was wet, and it could be wrapped, pinned, or layered in, honestly, countless ways. Unlike synthetic fabrics, it resisted sparks and could be repaired pretty easily. The enduring lesson here is really about material choice over complexity. Wool still outperforms many modern fabrics, especially in cold, wet, and unpredictable conditions, where electronics and special coatings tend to fail. The hand axe, well, it balanced portability with, you might say, destructive capability. Medieval hand axes were compact but powerful, capable of splitting wood, shaping beams, breaking ice, and, if it came to it, serving as weapons. Their wedge-shaped heads needed minimal sharpening and transferred force very efficiently. Modern axes often specialize, but the medieval design focused on versatility and ease of maintenance. For survival use, honestly, a simple, robust axe head with a replaceable handle is still unmatched. The auger now, it allowed shelter building without nails or power tools. Wood augers enabled medieval builders to drill precise holes for pegs and joints, letting structures be assembled without any metal fasteners at all. This made shelters easy to repair and reuse. Even today, hand augers allow for quiet, low-effort construction. No electricity required. The principle, really, is independence from external supplies. A tool that lets you build from raw materials is always more valuable than one that depends on manufactured parts. So, the wooden chest, you see, it doubled as storage, furniture, and even protection. Medieval chests were really engineered to keep contents dry, elevated, and secure. They served as seats, tables, and transport containers all in one. Thick wood, well, it insulated the contents from temperature swings and pests. In survival planning, multifunctional storage still remains critical. Containers that protect, organize, and serve multiple roles, they actually reduce the number of tools you need overall. The hand mill, guaranteed food processing without fuel. Grain mills allowed people to convert stored food into calories indefinitely, even without fire or power. Even when fuel was scarce, food could still be prepared. This kind of independence was absolutely vital during sieges and winters. Now, modern equivalents do exist, but the medieval emphasis was always on mechanical simplicity and long-term reliability. Any survival system, honestly, that cannot process food without electricity is incomplete. The needle and awl, well, they kept everything else working. Clothing, packs, tents and shoes were constantly repaired rather than replaced. The needle and awl were among the most important survival tools because they extended the life of every other item. This mindset is, unfortunately, often missing today. Maintenance tools are survival tools, and medieval life really revolved around keeping gear functional, not perfect. Medieval survival succeeded because tools were designed to be permanent. These tools were not optimized for comfort or speed. They were optimized for continuity. They could be repaired with basic skills, used in multiple roles, and trusted under conditions where replacement was impossible. That is, in fact, why many still outclass modern gear when systems fail. If you value, serious historical knowledge and real-world survival lessons drawn from the past, subscribe to the channel and share this video with others who care about tools that actually work. History is not obsolete. It is a tested manual for survival.